Okay, so today we're going to be transferring some 110 Kodak film to digital using a scanner. Um, this was the film that you used in the little pocket Instamatic cameras. You can see how small it is compared to a 35mm negative. And the scanner we're going to be using is the Canoscan 9000F by Canon, which comes with these three jigs right here. None of them are made for the 110, unfortunately. This one is for slides, this one's for 35mm, and this one's for large format, and this is actually the one we'll be using right here. I've tried placing the 110 just in the 35mm jig like so, but unfortunately the software won't lock onto each image that way. So what we're going to do is just combine these into one large image and use the large format jig here. And about 4 of them will be just a little too big. Just like when you scan the 126, you're not going to be able to scan all the images at one time like this. You're going to have to play with it a little bit. You're only going to, maybe 3/4 of the images that you scan are actually going to be usable. And for the next image, for the ones that you don't get in one setup, you'll just need to rearrange things, turn it around the other way, do something different so that somehow the software can lock onto that image. But the closest thing to one full-size large format is 4 pieces. And so what I'm going to do is just even these up good and run a piece of clear tape right along the bottom here on this part that doesn't matter. And that'll give me a nice size that will stay in shape while I do this, and you can see it fits right on there like that. We'll also be covering it with a clear piece of plastic just to kind of help hold it down and keep it flat and everything. So I'll do that, and then we'll do some scanning. Okay, so we've got our 4 negatives strips taped together here to kind of hold them together, and I'm going to guess that about there is right. And I've blown everything off with compressed air and brushed it down with a microfiber towel and done all the things that you can do to try to keep dust out. So here's a piece of clear plastic, and I'm going to just put that right over the negatives there. And then here's our jig, which fits right in there like that. It's not quite right. Get that positioned good, and now we're ready to scan. Here's the light in the lid that's going to give us the backlight that we need for scanning negatives. And this is the Canon 9000F, which works really good. So we're going to get the software activated and see what we can do. Okay, so we've got our negatives scanned, which only took a few seconds. This is a really fast, energy efficient scanner. It uses an LED light. And there's a couple of different ways that you could do this. You could hit the auto scan button on the scanner, or you could open a couple of different programs. To me, the easiest way is just to go ahead and open the ArcSoft Photo Studio that came with the scanner. And you can do the basic mode, which does everything automatic, but I've been going to the advanced mode, which allows me to scan a little higher DPI, to 2400 instead of 1200. The reason being that these negatives are really small compared to 35mm even, so you need to scan a little tighter on them, I think. There's also some image adjustments you can do here, like dust and scratch removal, fade correction, grain correction, and that stuff all works amazingly well. So that's why I like to do the advanced screen. It gives me a little more control. I could scan all of these at once, and that's fine. Or you can pick out just a certain segment, but if there's one particular one that I'm interested in, typically I like to actually crop in right on that specific image. That gives me a lot of control. And if from that point, it's just hit the scan button and you should have a pretty decent image. So I hope this was helpful to you, and if so, please like and share. Thank you.